It was an ordinary Tuesday when Sarah first noticed the strange occurrence. She had just finished her workday at the office, her mind preoccupied with thoughts of dinner and an upcoming weekend trip. She stepped out of the building, her phone buzzing with a message from her best friend, Emma. "Can't wait for this weekend." But as Sarah read the message, she looked up to see a familiar vignette. Something felt off. The streets seemed quieter than usual, and the sky appeared darker. A thick fog had rolled in, swallowing the bustling city in a blanket of mist. She shook her head, trying to shake off the feeling of unease. As she walked to her car, Sarah glanced at her watch. It was 6:35 p.m. But then it happened. The same car passed by her, its headlights blinding for a moment. The same gust of wind ruffled her hair. The same footsteps echoed from behind her. She spun around, only to find nothing but an empty street. It was as if time had reset. Confused, Sarah looked at her watch again. It was 6:35 p.m. It couldn't be. She had just checked her watch moments ago. What was happening? Sarah shook the thought from her mind. Maybe she was just tired. The strange fog, the identical scenery, it all seemed like coincidence. She drove home, determined to focus on the positive. But as she arrived at her apartment, she noticed the same things again. The same gust of wind, the same distant sound of laughter from a nearby street. She tried to shake it off, telling herself it was just a glitch in her mind. But when she checked her phone, something made her blood run cold. Her phone showed the time as 6:35 p.m. What the hell? Sarah whispered to herself. She reached for her keys, fumbling nervously, trying to unlock the door. But before she could open it, the same car passed by her, the headlights blinding her again, followed by the same footsteps. Frozen, she turned round. Her heart pounded in her chest as the world around her seemed to shift. She had already lived. This moment the realization hit her like a ton of bricks. This was no coincidence. She had somehow gone back in time. At first, Sarah tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was all a strange dream, or some kind of trick her mind was playing on her. But the more she tried to break free from the cycle, the stronger it became. Every time she looked at her watch, it was 6:35 p.m. Every time she stepped outside, she saw the same car, the same fog, the same steps echoing behind her. It was as if she had become trapped in a moment, repeating itself over and over. Desperate for answers, Sarah began to experiment. The next time the loop started, she tried to take a different route. She walked down the street instead of driving, hoping for a change. But when she reached her apartment, the same car passed by. The same gust of wind blew her hair. And when she checked her watch, it was 6:35 p.m. She had to break the cycle. But how? It wasn't until the third loop that Sarah encountered someone else who seemed aware of the situation. She had just stepped outside her apartment building when a man appeared from the fog. He was tall, with a gaunt face and piercing eyes that seemed to look right through her. "Are you stuck too?" he asked in a low voice, his tone heavy with regret. Sarah froze. "What do you mean?" The man stepped closer, his expression somber. "I've been here before," he whispered. "I know what's happening. This isn't a glitch in time. It's a trap." "A trap," Sarah echoed, her voice trembling. The man nodded. "Time is being stolen. Each time you repeat the loop, a piece of you is lost. It's not just the minutes. It's your memories, your life." Sarah's breath caught in her throat. "But how do I escape?" The man's face twisted with a strange sadness. "You can't. Not unless you know how to fight the force that's controlling the loop. With that, the man vanished into the fog, his words lingering in the air. Sarah felt a deep sense of dread settle in her chest. She had to find out who or what was controlling this loop and why. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah spent the next few loops scouring her apartment and the streets around her. She scrolled through her phone, looking for any clue, any piece of information that could explain the strange occurrences. But each time, her phone reset to show the same message. It's 6:35 p.m. Her search led her to an old, abandoned library in the heart of the city, hidden beneath the fog. The door creaked as she entered, the smell of dust and decay filling her lungs. The library was dark, the shelves covered in cobwebs. But amidst the silence, Sarah noticed something: a journal. The journal was old, its pages yellowed with age. She opened it carefully, reading the faded ink. Time is not what it seems. It is not linear. It is a river that can be bent, twisted, and stolen. Once it is stolen, it is gone forever. The one who controls it feeds on the lost moments. Chill ran down Sarah's spine. This was no ordinary loop. Someone or something had found a way to control time itself, and she was the one who had been chosen to suffer for it. With newfound resolve, Sarah returned to her apartment, where the loop began once more. As usual, the same events unfolded. The same fog, the same footsteps, the same car passing by. But this time, Sarah didn't flinch. She was ready. She walked out into the street, determined to find the source of the loop. That's when she saw it. The figure that had been haunting her dreams, the one who had been controlling time. It was a woman, standing in the middle of the street, her face hidden behind a mask. Her hand was raised, holding something, a strange device that seemed to pulse with energy. "You," Sarah said, her voice trembling with fear and anger. "You're the one doing this. Why? Why are you doing this to me?" The woman's masked face remained unreadable. "I am the keeper of time. I have been watching you, Sarah. You have a choice. Break the loop and lose everything, or stay trapped here and live forever in the moment." The device in the woman's hand pulsed brighter, and Sarah could feel her body freezing, her memories fading, slipping through her fingers like sand. The woman's voice echoed one last time, "Choose wisely." As the device glowed, Sarah closed her eyes, summoning all the strength she had left. She couldn't keep living in this loop. She couldn't let the woman control her fate. With a scream of defiance, Sarah reached out and grabbed the device. In that moment, everything changed. The world around her fractured, the fog swirling like a storm. Time itself seemed to bend and twist, the seconds stretching into eternity. But Sarah was no longer afraid. She was ready to fight for her life. And then, with a final surge of energy, she broke free.